Hello, this is Carl Jackson with Sedona.biz, and once again, we're going to be doing another interview today, and today we have the pleasure to have Cliff Hamilton, City Council Member Cliff Hamilton with us. Thank you so much for being here. Now, I guess there's a statement you have to make before you do interviews or write articles?
Yes, Carl, I need to be sure to say that the statements and the information I'm going to present are my own facts, my own interpretations, and don't necessarily reflect the opinions of the rest of the City Council or of any of the city staff. So,
okay.
With that out of the way, we can get started.
Let's get going. Well, what I'd like to do is, before I drill down into the issues, and actually I should sort of preface this by saying, when I come to city councils, I actually think of you as the dentist. I mean, you do the drills. I know you're very methodical. Do you feel you are? Or?
I try not to make it painful, though.
Not painful at all, but you definitely drill down and make sure you get to the heart of the real issues. So I'm sure people appreciate that.
I guess that's a part of really what I try to do, is to really come prepared, to understand what the issue is all about, to do the numbers, to do the data, to look at the issue and really understand it, ask the questions, and try to know where I'm going when we make decisions.
Yep. Well, let's step back. Let me just give a little bit of background about you. How did you get to Sedona? What were you doing before you came to Sedona? And why, in God's name, did you run for city council, and what did you hope to achieve?
Well, you make the last part sound like it was a trip to the dentist instead of being something that should be sort of natural and normal for us to do. I ran for city council because people encouraged me to do so, because I wanted to serve the community. It just sort of seems natural. Nobody runs for city council, or I don't think even serves on city council, without a lot of public or at least community support of one form or another. You just can't run, and you just can't do it without lots of folks being behind you in one way or another. Family, other community members, it's just essential to do this effectively. So that was a reason for running. What do I hope to achieve? I'd like to use the diversity of experiences that I've had to benefit our community. Katie and I chose this community out of all the places we could have lived on the planet. And if we're going to do that, it feels like we have a responsibility then to give back to that community and to use our life experiences to make it as good as we can make it and to serve it.
And where did you come from?
We came from Oregon.
Oregon, so I've learned it's Oregon, not Oregon.
Yes, very
right?
good, very good, very good. Yes, yeah. We moved here from Oregon, and Phoenix. We had some options in Phoenix. Phoenix is too hot.
Right.
After we collect this many birthdays, Oregon was just getting too wet, too cold, too long and gray, and Sedona's Goldilocks.
Now, you were in the wildlife business in Oregon, or?
At one time, yes. I worked for the State Fish and Wildlife Department for a number of years. I'm a wildlife biologist by my undergraduate training and an educator by my graduate degree.
Wow.
And I blended those two things together in public affairs and education, in public involvement for the Fish and Wildlife Department in Oregon for a number of years. I worked for the state police for a short time, not as a policeman, as a civilian, putting together a statewide citizen volunteer program, which incidentally led us to help with putting together the Sedona police volunteer program here. There was a direct link there.
So your experience is really perfectly aligned with Sedona.
It did in that particular case. I worked actually for the White House on one of Vice President Gore's projects called the GLOBE program for a number of years during the Clinton administration, and I did run my own business during some of that time as well, doing meeting facilitation services for public and private entities. And after we moved to Arizona for 3 years, I was the executive director of something called Wildlife for Tomorrow, which is a foundation that serves the Arizona Game and Fish Department, and I did that for a while we lived here, and then it was really clear that they needed somebody in Phoenix to do that role, and so we became sort of fully retired, which means the calendar's way busier than it used to ever be.
Absolutely. Now, let me just ask you, I'm going to get into some hard questions here.
Sure.
And maybe it's because you have a wildlife background. Obviously, you care about the environment. When you ran for council, now you've been on council, some in the community have felt that you are very aligned with Keep Sedona Beautiful and with the mayor, more than others. Do you think that's true, a fair assessment? What's your opinion about that?
Well, what I work to do, Carl, is to represent everybody in the community. I see myself as doing that. I am not a member of any business organization or any special interest group in Sedona. I'm really not, because I believe, again, that I represent the entire community. So if you follow me around for any length of time, you'll find me doing anything from going to a chamber mixer or a Good Morning Sedona Chamber of Commerce event. You might find me at KSB attending one of their lecture series if the topic happens to be of interest. You might find me speaking to a Kiwanis club, to the Sierra Club, going to a mayor's lunch and having lunch or coffee with most anybody who's interested in conversation or wants to talk to me about anything. So I see myself.
So KSB isn't whispering in your ear and telling you what to do.
When you're on council, Carl, everybody whispers in your ear. I can assure you of that.
In your ear.
Yeah, they do that too. And they write you letters and emails. But that's all part of sensing what this community is about, what people want. And if you're going to represent it as a government sort of, by, and for the people, that's what you got to do. You cannot be seen as just part of one segment or another. At least I don't want to be that way.
Okay. Let me ask you a question about the relationship, and this is sort of a series of questions, the relationship between the city and businesses in the community. There have been people, you've been perceived as being potentially anti-business, that you don't support the city subsidizing the Sedona Chamber Film Office or arts programs or things of that, or the Roadrunner. Do you see yourself as anti-business, and what do you think the relationship should be between the city and businesses as it relates to the city subsidizing other organizations?
Well, we need to support our businesses in Sedona. I mean, our sales tax is what supports our city. And without a business community that makes that happen, we're in deep trouble. So we need to support our businesses. The concerns that I have are about what I'll call pseudo support of those businesses or make-believe support of those businesses, where we're spending major amounts of city money to do things that are allegedly in support of those businesses, which clearly, when you do that drilling down, as you said, that analyzing of the numbers and looking at the data and evaluating what's going on, you find that it's not happening. That we're spending huge amounts of money and we're getting back very little. And it continues to amaze me that our business community and our business leaders continue to let that go on. That they continue to put up with that kind of thing, where we're spending large amounts of money and
now,
getting...
Can you give me an example? Like, for instance, the Sedona Chamber of Commerce. I get a lot of emails at Sedona.biz about the money that, I don't even know how much money the city gave to the Chamber of Commerce. I guess some money to do business promotions?
Well, we give them... Maybe give them is not the right word. We provided the chamber with about round numbers, about $600,000 a year to do several things. That does include the film office, by the way.
Okay.
It includes the promotion advertising that they do for the city very broadly, all around the country and outside the nation even. It provides for operation of the Uptown Visitor Center. It provides for the operation of the film office, really, if we want to just clump at those three kinds of things. And so that's where the money goes. Those are appropriate things to do to support advertising, to support visitors here. But what we have to do is look at what we're getting back for it. We've got to analyze what we're getting out of it. Because if you're in business and you're spending money and you're not getting anything back for it, you're going to go out of business. And that's when it comes to being...
And when you say getting back for it, do you mean if the city subsidizes a local nonprofit or business, you expect increased sales tax revenue from that subsidy, or what do you mean getting out of it?
That's literally always the point or the purpose of providing that money is to generate back sales tax, for that money to be used to do something that will bring people to Sedona and generate sales tax. Take the film office, since you used that example. I think it's a classic. It's just, to me, textbook. We're spending about $10 of sales tax money for every $1 of sales tax we're getting back through that office. You just can't keep doing business that way and stay in business. And so I'm a very strong business supporter. But I'm supporting real business, real things that really generate a profit, that generate a result, and not these kinds of things that are way too often wishful thinking and frankly, make-believe. We have got to get out of that business. As I said, it surprises me that the business leaders and the business people of this community continue to put up with that. I just don't understand it.